In a world that is robbing dudes of their dudeness, three normal, everyday, middle-aged dudes are taking a stand for dudes everywhere. Join us as we talk about life as a dude in today's world.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Dudefinity podcast, the only podcast dedicated to all things dude. My name is Sterling, and joining me as always, recently elected as a new Ayatollah of Iran, and hoping not to get bombed, Jordan.
I don't know, man. That's a deadly position. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's the one that I would want, to be honest with you. No. Hey, congratulations, Iranian people. This is your moment, man. Trump said it the other day. Like, I'm going to dive right in on it, dude, because, like, congratulations to the ladies of Iran and the people of Iran and getting out of that tyrannical regime, getting out from underneath their thumb. I think, man, for those of you who don't understand what just happened, I just apologize. Go out and search up the Iranian people's reaction to it and just watch the videos of the people crying in the streets and cheering. Sorry guys, we drove right in, so I'm gonna back up and then we'll go right back to that, okay? Sterl, it's been a minute. Like, holy it's been a minute. I'm really glad to be on here with you, dude. A lot's gone on these last couple of weeks, and it's been kind of wild, man. And a lot's gone on personally, a lot's gone on globally, a lot's gone on in sports. Like, man, wow, we got a lot to talk about, bro.
Yeah, we do. We have a ton to talk about. So since we're on the subject, let's hash out this quick Iran thing. So I agree with what you're saying. I disagree to some extent, and I'll tell you why. I think it's a mixed bag. There are some people who are upset that
There are.
the Ayatollah got blown up, but
There are.
I think as a country, as long as there's support from their surrounding neighbors, which it seems like there will be.
I feel like we're on the right side of history because of it, dude, to be honest with you,
100%.
in a way. Because, I mean, the fact that, like, the Oman, they called Omanians. Is that what you call the people of Oman? Omanians? Maybe. Okay, but the people from Oman, you've got the people from Jordan, you've got Saudi Arabia, you've got Pakistan, who's kind of just on the fence about it, but still
Qatar.
thinking the same way. Qatar's the same way. You've got Kyrgyzstan. Syria seems to be kind of in that mix where they're like, we really don't want, I mean, a couple of people have come out and said some things, like Turkey kind of condemned it, but Turkey's always going to condemn anything that the Americans do because I'm going to be honest with you, for those of you who don't know, we've been working with the Turkish people for years from a CIA perspective and an intelligence perspective. It's been a gateway to the Middle East for us, and if people don't understand that, I mean, they're going to always deny and deflect everything that the U.S. does and denounce it. But truthfully, have you ever seen us actually get in conflict with Turkey? No. And we never will, so
we didn't sell them F-35s because they bought Russian S-400 SAM systems.
I know, but I'm just saying they've been the gateway to the Middle East to us in a lot of ways. I just think we have a unique moment in history right now where the Middle East is kind of aligned with us in the fact that they see an opportunity to get rid of, because think about it, man, no rational people wants to see their people killed in the streets all the time. And what a lot of this regime has propped up is the Houthis and Hezbollah and Hamas and a lot of different terror organizations. And I mean, I get it from a religious standpoint if you align with their ideology, okay, but I mean, honestly, it's caused a lot of unrest in the world for a long time, dude. And I think even the people in the Middle East are tired of seeing it.
Well, it was when Iran just they just lash out at everybody around them.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it doesn't bode well. You end up
They decide they're pissed on a Tuesday and launch a rocket at anybody's ship coming down the strait.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that their command and control, they cut the head off of it. So
Yeah,
I'm sure that those were standing orders for what to do if they got attacked and there was no
yeah.
command and control. And it's not unreasonable for them to assume that uh, the UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia would be involved in an attack on them. So, and I think that's really what it comes down to.
Well, here's
But
a question for you because I was kind of curious about this as I thought about it. I've looked and I've yet to see anything that tells me that the president of Iran is dead.
no, he's still alive.
Okay. I just didn't know if you had seen something because there's been so much coming, like, you know what I mean? That I'm like, oh man. But I apologize if I sound a little nasally. I've been fighting that cold, dude. So just bear with me. We'll get through it. Hopefully you can smooth out my voice a little bit. Make it that like deep sexual tone.
Gross.
um, gross. Absolutely gross. You know, man, I remember an episode. Do you remember that show Brotherly Love? With, like, the Lawrence brothers, like, back in the day, like Joey Lawrence, Matthew Lawrence, and I forget the other one, but remember Joey Lawrence from Blossom? Whoa!
Yes.
Okay. So, Joey Lawrence was in that show, so I watched it, you know what I mean? 'Cause I liked him, and so I watched that, and he joked one time with his girlfriend, he's like, "I need you to come over," and he was sick. He's like, "I need you to come over and read me The Little Engine That Could in your sexy voice and feed me chicken noodle soup." And I don't know why, but that's always been whenever I'm sick, I joke around with my wife and I'm like, "Come over and read me the." Anyway.
What?
Oh, dude. No, it just popped in my head about that because of what we were saying right there a minute ago. Just cut this out. Cut it out.
No, no, not gonna cut it out, but like, don't play with your mouse.
With my mouth?
Your mouse. Were you playing with your mouse
Oh,
just now?
yeah, I moved you. 'Cause I wasn't
Oh, okay.
looking at you. Remember how I do that switch thing? And
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't have it, so
yeah,
I was just switching it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're
So,
good.
yeah, what do you keep popping over there? Are you popping bottles?
A marker.
A
I'm fidgeting.
marker. Alright, clicky. Alright, clicky McClickertons. Yeah, dude, so Iran, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think of that. That's wild. We'll see where that goes. But I feel like there's go ahead, finish your thought on it because there's so much that we gotta get to, like
Well, I gotta admit, I do, and good luck to you with your new career as Ayatollah. Um, but I don't even
joke's
know if
on Trump, I'm gonna live in America.
that guy got through orientation. You know what I mean? Oh man, it's good. I think it had to happen. If you can sit there and protest, you know, 75,000 people dying in Gaza over the course of, and then at the same time, not protest against a regime that killed 40,000 people in a couple of weeks.
Well, how do you
That's,
march for women's rights and everything else and then get upset when women are freed in a country that's been oppressing them for years?
here's,
Killing them, stoning them, selling them off at 12, 10, 9 for a cow and and
but the
$3?
problem is, the problem is, man, it's like, this to me is the definition of Trump derangement syndrome. Like, it's
Dude,
this
that's
stuff.
all it is. That's all it is. Because anybody
It's
who tells you, dude, we've seen it the whole presidency. Maduro, a month and a half ago, Schumer and 20 blasted Trump for not taking out Maduro. Then he takes out Maduro and Schumer says it's bad and we impeded the sovereignty of a nation. Like, I don't understand how these people fall for this. Like, I mean, it's just hypocrisy, dude, all the time. And the whole thing in it is just hating Trump. Listen, man, I don't think that Trump is the greatest person on earth, but damn, man, come on. Like, when he does something good, like, he's done some good things.
this is one of those things that, assuming that this works out well. And one of the big things I think you have to do is, which he's kind of said he's going to do, give them the opportunity, but you have to let the chips fall where they may. You can't force democracy on a country. If they decide that they want it, then fantastic. But you can't force it. And so, if do what you have to protect the region, to protect our allies and assets, and Americans in the region, Americans here, et cetera, et cetera. But when it comes to them figuring out how to self-govern, you just
Yeah.
gotta have to hands off and let them do it.
Well, I heard something interesting about I forget what do they call that country peace thing that Trump came up with, where it's like
Yeah, I can't
whatever it
remember.
is, right? Like it's like 6 or 7 countries, right? Well, guess what they're talking about doing? Having joint bases in Gaza and having a joint base in Iran,
Mhm.
having a joint base in Iraq. Like really establishing a peace force in there to combat terrorism throughout the region. And all these countries seem to be on board with it.
Well, here's the thing, the Omanis, the Qataris, the Saudis, UAE, these are all countries that are, especially like the UAE.
God,
They're
they're
they're trying.
westernized.
Well, it's not just that they're westernized. They to an extent they kind of are,
Yeah,
but a lot of it is that they understand that when everybody is rich, everybody's happy. When
yeah.
you're making money, everybody's happy.
And there's not enough people in the Middle East, dude, if you think about it, where if everybody's making money and doing things that they can't live a decent life over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Iran,
I
think
mean,
about it.
it's true.
In the early 70s, Iran was a prosperous country with that didn't have Sharia law and all this other
Well, and
stuff. They
they
did,
also
but they wore regular clothes and women showed their faces and
well, it's
it
I'm
was
not going to
based on their
begrudge them
religion.
their
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not going to begrudge them their cultural choices. But, the things that I can't abide by are, the fostering of terrorism throughout the region, throughout the world. That sort of I can't abide by. But, at the end of the day, it's their country. And if that's how they choose to live,
Yeah, if
you
they
know,
turn around and vote
then
this in,
so
then
be it.
okay, right?
So be it. That's their
But I
choice.
don't think that's what they're gonna do. I don't.
I think you're probably right. But, you know,
I just don't.
hard
I
to say.
think
And who's to say?
but man, I'm gonna give some credit to somebody for all of this, and you're gonna be surprised because I think what we're seeing is a strong alliance amongst Middle Eastern reasonable countries and
Hmm.
us and the Israelis and the UK. And so here's you're gonna think it's kind of wild. But you gotta go back to the Abraham Accords and the work that Jared Kushner did to unite these countries and get them to tables in the first Trump presidency, man. He really I mean, the deals they signed and the peace treaties, nobody threw them away, and they've upheld, and they just kinda stuck with it now, you know what I mean? And it seems like those countries they brought to the table
Hmm.
have really just worked really well together.
Well, and here's the other thing I was just thinking about. You think about, say you're a Iranian businessman, right? You
Yeah.
got maybe you own a hotel or something like that, and across the Strait of Hormuz, you're seeing, the UAE and the Saudis and the Qataris with these
They're getting,
Dubai,
like,
like these,
travel and
yeah,
yeah, tourism.
tourism and all of this stuff on top of their oil money. They're diversifying their portfolios, to speak. And
Yeah, the UAE
you
is
know,
like Dubai is one of the hottest places on earth, man.
uh and the Iranian rial is essentially worthless.
Yeah.
I don't blame these guys for being pissed off.
No. No, they've been living under
They
oppression and
want
don't need to.
well, and then again, it's just like anything else. You can put up with a lot of stuff as long as your pocket's full.
Yeah.
But now their pockets aren't full. Not that they
Yeah,
were full before.
work
But
seems less stressful when you're paid more. So kinda moving gears real quick, I wanted to jump on something else just because we have so much to
have
touch
so
on
much to
tonight.
get through. Yeah.
Yeah, so did you see Hillary Clinton come unglued and leave the table today at her deposition?
No, my brother,
She lost it,
I
walked away
was
from the table. She said, "I can't believe these line of questioning," got up, walked away from the table. But Bill, I mean, pretty much said that he was friends with Epstein and never really saw Trump that much with
Well,
Epstein.
here's the thing. I don't know if you read this,
He might
but
be positioning himself to try to get a pardon.
well, no, hold on. This is actually pretty wild, and it
Yeah,
goes to kind of honestly absolve Hillary of really any wrongdoing because according to what I've been reading, uh, you know, Hillary never even actually met Epstein. So
but he
she
was
never
at
even
Chelsea's wedding.
well, hold on. She never even actually met Epstein. He called, he wanted to see her, wanted to meet her, and she just left him hanging.
Because probably she knew what her husband was doing. I saw what you did there. I saw what you did there. Saw what you did there. I saw what you did there. She just left him hanging.
Just left him
Yeah,
hanging.
yeah, Hillary strikes again. But no, for real, dude. And then like Bill kind of exonerated Trump from everything. If you listen to his testimony, it's kind of like, nope. So I just wanted to touch on that real quick. I don't really care about all that Epstein stuff. We've talked a lot about it lately. Dude,
Well, I'll say this though, one thing, you know, now let's be honest, we're not a big channel by any means. We're growing, making our moves. But when a video does, when we put out an Epstein video and it does 20 something views, which is less than 100th of what we would usually do, you know, I don't know. Is YouTube trying to suppress the
I
Epstein
think
thing?
it's
I don't
being
know.
shut down, dude. I think a lot of yeah, yeah, yeah. So switching gears to the Celtics real quick. I gotta say, man, I was a little disappointed in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
They
Okay.
flexed that game. They made it seem like he was gonna play. The Celtics indicated that he wasn't. I just, you know, I saw the sliding scale on the tickets for that game because of the potential of his return.
Mm-hmm.
And everyday schmucks got ripped off, dude. Like, that sucks. Like,
Well, I'll tell you this. That does suck. However, it seems like things are indicating that he's gonna come back. His first game back will be Friday.
I know. I yeah. But I'm just saying, dude, that was kind of like I don't know. I just to
Yeah.
jack up the tickets $150 to $200 on average for nosebleed seats on
Mm-hmm.
the resale market, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, dude. I just think that that's
Well, at least they got to go see Boston blow Philly out.
you know who couldn't hit the ocean if he tried last night? Peyton Pritchard. I don't know what homeboy was doing, but he needed to like maybe just take the night off. Um, I've been a little confused about something, and maybe you can shed some light on it. So, did Jordan Walsh fall out of like the good graces? Because I felt like he's been a very efficient shooter. He's been a great on-ball defender, and he's just been an all-around good player this year. And all of a sudden, it seems like he doesn't play any more than 10 to 13 minutes a night. And to start the season, he was playing. Is that because Vucevic came in, you think? And that's
Probably.
what's
I think
probably
they're gonna
pushed him?
think
And then Shireman's been playing a boatload of minutes. I don't like him.
slide more towards the middle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, it's just when I put up like a TikTok style video, it'll be like sometimes it only has half your face. Yeah, Baylor Shireman getting a ton of minutes. I think Vucevic is has kind of taken some minutes from various different guys. But here's the reality: we're getting towards playoff time, and it's time to start tightening those lineups a little bit and seeing what's going to work when it comes to a 7-game series.
So Kata played
That's just
great
my
last
opinion.
night, 27 and
Yeah,
17.
27 and 7.
But here's the thing with Kata that I don't understand, bro. And maybe you'll agree with it, maybe you won't. I feel like when he falls to the floor, when he's out of the play, he just doesn't get back on defense, or he doesn't get back for, like, he just kind of, like transition. He's basically a non-existent factor. And sometimes I feel like he spends too much time, like he's slow to get up. Sometimes you just gotta get up. I know the bigger you are, the harder you fall, but
I was
still.
just gonna
I
say,
mean,
Jesus, he's huge.
I know, but my point is, dude, is get back up. Like, don't sit there and whine and complain. Just get up. Just get up. Anyway. So yeah, I don't know, man. Things are wild. How's your life?
Good, busy,
Busy?
doing things, staying busy. How about you?
You know, it's been a stretch of just weird mishap stuff. All I can do is kind of laugh. And then to cap it off, I've been sick all weekend, so the cold. So yeah, dude, Tara's bleep that out. Her car is getting fixed. My wife's car is getting fixed right now. We're supposed to get it back sometime the end of this week, middle of next week. I don't know. But yeah, the puppy decided to eat a chew toy. Had to have a emergency foreign object removal surgery a week ago, and it's been around the clock caring for that damn dog. Keeping him kind of doped up so he's calm because he's only a 6.5-month-old boxer and he's full of just
Energy.
energy and gonna rip his stomach wide open if I don't. So, um, I was joking with my wife earlier, and I said, "Man, when this dog is like better and he doesn't need the medicine, is he gonna go through DTS? Is he just gonna be like doped out to the point that he's just like, I don't know what to do without it, start throwing up on us?"
I mean, hopefully not.
I mean, I hope not either. I mean, we're not giving him that much. We're giving him what they told us to give him, but you know what I mean?
Right.
They've got him on that gabapentin or whatever
Mm-hmm.
at twice a day, and then they've got him on trazodone, and the trazodone seems to just make him high. I don't know how else to say it. Just super high. Like his eyes get all red, and he's just like, yeah.
Oh, so now let me ask you something. We've talked about. I'm going to go back to the Celtics for a minute. Well, not
Oh
just the
Lord.
Celtics. I'm not going to go back to just the Celtics. You know, we talked about this MVP thing a few times. I am more and more convinced that while I think this is going to be a Scottie Pippen in 94, 95, or yeah, 94, 95, where there's no MJ and got to the Eastern Conference Finals with a fairly depleted Bulls team, really should have probably won the MVP that year. I've got a feeling that that is Jaylen Brown's season trajectory with no Tatum. I bet money he's going to be, 2, 3 in the MVP voting. But
But it's not fair because truthfully, if you look at what he's done every month this
with
season,
what
no,
he's
every
done with
month this
less.
season, he has gotten better. And guess what else? His passing and his rebounding.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
dude. He's raised his
he's doing it
averages.
all.
Uh,
He's
and he
doing it
guards the
all.
best player every night. I don't even want to hear it. He's the best two-way player in the NBA, and I'll go ahead and make that statement right now. He is hands down the best two-way player in the NBA.
I feel like this is I doubt very much that Jokic is going to play every game for the rest of the season because he can't miss any.
No, well, he's been banged up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the reality is, you look at their trajectory at the second half of the season. Denver looks like they're legitimately like the best first to second best odds of winning a title in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
West. Like them, a Denver OKC matchup.
Yeah,
I
but
could see Denver coming away with that.
You still gotta remember that Wemby's gonna have something to say about it at some point.
I see what you're saying. I
Because
agree.
I don't think that they can
but
guard him. Dude, the Spurs have
what
beaten the Thunder 3 games
I
out of
hear you.
4. They beat the
I hear you.
the Rockets 3 out of 4, and they beat
Well, the
the
Rockets aren't really
Nuggets.
saying
Well,
much.
they beat the Nuggets 3 out of 4 at this point. Or no. 2 out of 3.
I was just gonna say, I think it's 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Um, listen, I'm not saying that you and I both know this. There is a difference between it being your first go
Yeah.
and you having won a title.
Yeah.
And so winning those 7-game series, that experience really does make a massive difference. You've got a multi-time MVP and champion, well, MVP multi-time, and a one-time champion in Jokic. You got OKC that won a title
Just
last
1.
year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that deep playoff run experience really does make a difference.
It does.
I don't see. I'm not saying San Antonio is going to be an easy out by any
I think they
means.
have one of the best team guys in the league, though. Like, just an actual team guy and, like, leader in the locker room quietly. He won a championship with the Warriors. He knows what he's doing. I do think Harrison Barnes has an impact on that squad come playoff time. I'm
Maybe,
not saying he's gonna score a
but
bunch of points. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, and Wemby, dude, like, the thing is that you can't sometimes you see the pure athlete win more than experience. Think about Giannis when the Bucks won. I
yeah,
mean,
but it wasn't like the Bucks hadn't made deep playoff runs.
I'm just saying,
You
man,
know,
like, or like last year, Shea, like, there was no experience there. They
yeah,
hadn't
they
really
had
gone
made
deep.
but they had at least been in the playoffs a couple of times. Like I
I
say,
know.
I just
And
don't
Wemby's
see.
unguardable, man. Like, I hate to say that, but I mean, there's no matchup that actually if he is healthy and they do it the right way, the Spurs can beat either one of those teams. That's just
There's a
my
difference
prediction.
between having the ability to and having the experience to know how to win. Like I just again, it's the
I
same
hear
reason
you.
I don't. It's the same reason I don't trust rookies.
Yeah.
It's the
You
same
don't know how
reason I
to
don't
but
trust
dude, you don't
rookies.
know how to win until you win. So, I mean, there's a lot of teams that just bounce around. I mean, the Celtics were in out of the playoffs for years. You know what I mean? Last year was or the year we won the championship was when we learned how to win. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah, I mean, there you can kind of say that, but they have been to the Eastern Conference Finals how many times? They've been to an NBA Finals already. Like
Bro, they were never ready though, like ever.
like
I
I
just
don't
think
first.
the difference is Wemby is unguardable. That's just my
I know
opinion.
it's a 5-man team out on the court. It's not just Wemby. Like
What are they gonna
I'm
do?
telling you.
Tackle him to stop him from shooting over him?
I'm telling you, man. I don't for a second believe that this is a team that's going to. Could they? Sure, anything can happen. But I would take Denver and I'd take OKC over San Antonio 10 out of 10 times.
I'll tell you 2 other teams that I think are actually gonna be a problem out west. I think Ant just let the Nuggets know that he is here to say something. I think the Minnesota's starting to look a little better, honestly. Um, Ant's been balling the hell out. I mean, they just beat the shit out of Denver. I forget how bad it was, but I mean, they really did beat them pretty handedly. Um, and I'm leaning again, sorry. Um, and I do think that the Clippers, if they keep winning and Kawhi keeps playing, Kawhi is just a different player, man. Come playoff time, come the stretch, and he seems to be healthy right now. And if that is the case, I mean, dude, they started the season like 12 games below 500, and I think they're like 3 or 4 games below 500 right now with 25 games to go. You know what I mean? I just kind of think that they've got something going there too. I don't know.
I mean, yeah,
And Darius Garland's just coming back. I think he just came back last night, or he comes back tonight.
I think the Clippers they've got a good team. I think Houston is pretty disappointing considering what they were supposed to do this
They
season.
have a
But
37-year-old Kevin Durant, man. Like
who's just out there talking all the shit
and
on
doesn't play
X, like
defense
it's his job.
like worst defender at this age. Can't keep up. Still an incredible scorer. I'm not going to take that away from him. Still an incredible shooter. Still an incredible, great in open space. But he's just I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not particularly impressed
I
with
think the Lakers knock off the Rockets, to be honest with you. Uh, it's looking like
man, the
they're gonna have
Lakers are bad though,
yep,
dude.
Luka
They're
and LeBron
bad.
come from the time might be a little different. Austin
No,
Reeves
I don't think so.
hasn't been playing well. I don't understand what's up with
I
that.
don't think I think a lot of the problem is that there is a very specific team. You've already seen the blueprint for it in Dallas 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, that's the team you need to build around Luka if you want to win with it. I don't think that LeBron and Luka work. I think part of the problem is that LeBron is a top 10, maybe even top 5 player for 5 minutes a for 5 minutes a half. You get classic LeBron, and then from there it's all just trying to meter
The
out
problem
what
is neither one
energy
of
he
them play
has.
defense. There's no
Well,
defense.
Luca is just awful. And I can deal. Here's the thing: I can deal with a guy who's not a good defender. Like I can
Yeah.
deal with a Steph Curry. I can deal with an SGA. I can deal with guys who aren't good defenders who put in effort. Like, you know, not everybody is going to be a good defender, but if you're putting in effort, you don't have to be. You're not necessarily a liability all the time.
You know what
Luca's
Luka
big.
is? Luka, I'm gonna make a comparison and you can say what you want about it. Luka is basically the white Russell Westbrook. Stat hunting, triple doubles, just can fill up a stat sheet like nobody else, but it doesn't translate to wins.
I mean, I'd agree with that. I mean, he has made a finals, but you know, I think
Russell
most of
Westbrook almost
Luca's
made one,
I
but
think
then
most
there,
of Luca's
yeah,
problem is just
he's lazy.
I think he's really lazy. He's whiny. That's one of the things that really gets under my under my craw, I guess, because in Dallas, you're telling him the whole final, shut the up and play the game. You know, like that
He reminds
they
me of
may
a
have
kid
won more than
with whenever I see him do his whiny face. He reminds me of Josh K. I'm not gonna say his last name. I don't want to out him like that. He has a brother who got frostbitten toes out behind Sam's Club.
oh oh okay, yeah. Uh, but yeah, no, like I agree though.
Hope you're doing,
It's
brother, if you watch this.
uh like I say, it's the whining, complaining, not getting back on defense that
Yeah.
he did that whole final series where they're playing half the time, they're playing 4-on-5 because
But he
he's
was
down at the
playing
other end of the
hurt
court.
too. Like Luca was not even
Listen,
remotely.
I'm not saying he wasn't, but it's the finals.
I know.
You never know if they're going to get there again. That's
No,
not
I know.
really it, but whining to the refs and not getting back on defense, that's not being hurt isn't an excuse for that.
But bro, our superstar our supposed superstar, has done it his entire career.
He's not as bad as Luca. He's bad. Don't get me
Bro, Jake
wrong. He
Tatum
is
is
bad.
the one thing I hope that comes from Tatum sitting out is that maybe he matured a little bit mentally, because I get a little tired. I hope it gave him some mental toughness. And this isn't like knocking Tatum, because I do love Jason Tatum's game. I do. And I think he's a great player. And I think the team is better when he's on it. You know what I mean? I think this version of the team, as long as they don't try to change everything to accommodate Tatum,
Yep.
could be really freaking good, honestly.
Well, and that's the thing
Tatum
with
played off ball, averaging 20 points a night and 12 rebounds, alongside JB doing his thing and everybody else shooting. Dude, we'd be balling. We'd be balling every night. And the thing is, though, is Tatum has spent his whole career avoiding contact and whining when he doesn't get the call. It drives me nuts. And he's not got
it's
back
fine
on
to
defense.
whine as you're sprinting down the court.
Yeah. Run your mouth when you're running away. Like, it just drives me nuts, man, because the thing is Tatum is think about this for a second. He might not be as jacked, but he is as big as Giannis, okay? Like frame-wise. shoulder width, like height,
Yeah, probably.
all that.
I don't
Okay.
think he's quite as tall as Giannis is, but
Okay, he's
he's big.
probably an
But he's
inch
pretty
off,
close.
but I mean he's a muscular guy too. You know what Giannis does more like better than any player I've seen since maybe Sean Kemp? It's just go through people. Like
The
Giannis
fact that
just
you went
rubs.
with Sean Kemp and not Shaquille O'Neal is
Okay.
concerning.
Well, I'm saying because I'm talking about like undersized guys, not just pure like Shaq was 7'2" of just pure like yeah. My point
Bigness.
is, huh? You say?
Bigness. Just
Yeah. Yeah. So my point is Tatum, if he would actually initiate contact, he'd probably draw contact. But instead, he plays like a point guard that showed up at Duke and wound up,
well,
you know what I mean?
but here's the thing, man. The aggressor is usually not the one that gets the foul called. It's just
Right.
like it's just like you could call holding every play in the
Yeah.
NFL.
Yeah.
You call it every play in the NFL. That push off that Peyton Pritchard has now adopted that JB has, they're not going to call that. They can't call it every play. They're not going to.
No. No.
Draw your contact, make your move, find their body, get into them.
One of my
But
favorite things that Giannis does every game is he drops that shoulder about the foul line when you think he's going to pull up for a jumper and just absolutely explodes to the rim. And guess what? They tend to get the hell out of his way the next time. I don't know why Tatum doesn't do it. And now he's never going to do it.
I just don't think that's his game.
He plays like the point guard that he was recruited to be at Duke. What did he have? A 6? Huh?
You're drank every time you set it down. It's like I get just. I'm just telling you.
6. He was what? 6'3" or 6? He was supposed like when he was recruited.
Something
And
like
he
that.
showed up 6'9".
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Which is nice. I mean, but I don't think he ever adjusted to that sidestep 3 as he got bigger. So maybe he'll stop that now. I don't know. I do too, dude. It's not a good shot. It's not a good shot.
Steph
Anyway.
Curry can do it. You can do it. You can take that shot if you're Steph Curry.
Or
Not
James
really
Harden.
anybody else. Even Harden
James
doesn't
Harden,
shoot it at
Harden
the
in
clip
his
that
prime
he.
was pretty good.
I'm not gonna say he wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, that's. I don't know. Like I say, I think there's a lot of parts of Tatum's game that are fantastic. His basketball IQ, his ability to pass the ball, but the problem, what I don't want to see is the same thing that you and I usually complain about the Celtics team.
ISO.
The ball hits Jason Tatum's hands and it just stops. And
Because he was a point guard, dude, his whole life until he got to the NBA, until he got to Duke. So if you think
no, I
about
think it's
that,
because they're just like they mismatch hunt, they play isolation basketball, and then when you don't get anything and they have to draw the double team, then you kick it out to somebody. Like
yeah,
I get some of the point of it, it just doesn't work.
no,
Not that well.
no. Now what they need to do is if anybody's going to ISO, it needs to be JB with JT playing off him. Like the way that JB's been playing, dude, like honestly, he's proven he's a good passer. He's proven that he can go left. He finally established a left hand. He has proven that he can lead a team. He's proven that he can rebound. He's proven that he can score 30 points a night. So why not let him ride the hot hand and bring Tatum back, hoping that by playoffs he's 15-10 or 20-10.
But the thing is
Ideally.
but the difference is that when JB doesn't really play ISO, not in the same way that they used to.
I know.
He makes a move, gets to his spots, and if he's got the jump shot,
Kicks
he
or
takes it.
pops.
If he
Kicks or pops.
he makes a decision quickly. The
Yeah.
problem with Tatum was that he would catch the ball, make a jab step,
Lull you to sleep.
little ISO dribble move, and then inevitably do a sidestep 3. Like you knew what he was gonna. Every time I knew what he was gonna do.
It's almost like what Kevin Durant used to do. And he can't do it. Like, he can't do it at the clip that Durant did. You know what I mean?
It's not his game.
No.
It's just not what he should be doing. And I hope that he's sitting at home, or not sitting at home. Give him credit.
I
Sitting
hope
on
he's
the
been
bench.
studying himself, honestly. Honestly, I hope he's been watching film of himself and ways to improve for the last year. I hope that he spent a lot of time just watching, and maybe he
Here's the
comes back
thing. I think
because he needs this, dude. Like, he's got a good basketball IQ, but he needs to be able to think it through. And he makes good plays, like, he passes well, but the problem is, like you said, it stalls, and it's like his brain stalls.
like I say, I think a lot of it is that's the offense that they've been playing, and he's a pretty introspective guy in
Yeah,
general. So my hope is that if anybody can come back and go, well, maybe this isn't the way we've been playing before. I'm not going to bring us back to that. You
yeah.
know, if he does that, they got a real chance at winning a title.
Well,
They really
Joe's
do.
become a real X's and O's coach this year, so if that's the case and they're doing more of the X's and O's stuff, like, just like, I feel like he's put this team in a good position to win. So, just trust the process and just I hate to say that because I sound like I'm talking about the Sixers, but yeah, but just understand that Joe has done a phenomenal job this year, and let him coach you the way that you need to be coached right now, and he'll put you in, like, the team will put you in a position, the coaching staff will put you in a position to be successful. That's it. I don't know, man. It's I just don't think we need to overcomplicate it when he comes back.
No, no, and I agree with you. Um, Speaking of, nah, I got no good segue. Uh, how about the two U.S. hockey teams?
Oh, dude, amazing. Amazing, amazing. Did you
Absolutely
see
fantastic.
did you see when the US men's team came out at the State of the Union?
Hmm.
Did you see how Trump, like, pointed over to the Democrats? I laughed my ass off. He pointed over to the Democrats and he goes, "I've never seen them stand for anything." I died, dude. I'm like, "This is amazing."
It makes me chuckle how upset Canada is. Like
Oh,
it's like it's just all it makes me laugh how upset, like, it's but it's like I've seen so many videos of people going, "Oh, well, 3-on-3 hockey in overtime, pff, it's not real hockey. That shouldn't happen in a medal game. You just won a game to get there in 3-on-3 hockey in overtime. What are you weren't complaining then?"
they're just mad, you know?
Yeah.
But
I
dude,
mean, if it
honestly, the coolest part in all of it, like, it was great that both teams won, but my favorite
I
part in all
loved
of it,
that.
and you might not know this story, you might know it, but Johnny Gaudreau, great hockey player, was on the Olympic team before, was riding his bike in New Jersey with his brother, got
Yeah.
hit, his
Yeah.
wife was 2 months pregnant, and his 7 months after he died, his wife gave birth. The hockey team wins. They grab Gaudreau's kids, his daughter, his, like, 3-year-old daughter, and his now 2-year-old son. They drag him out on the ice. They put the Gaudreau jersey on him. And just what a special, like, it's one of those moments in sports, man, where it's like, you just feel good about it. You know what I mean? And
Well, if there's and I'm going to say something here, and maybe it's a silly statement that we all know, but you know, if there's one thing I feel like that can bring us as a country together, it's sport.
oh,
It's
always,
sports.
always.
When and you're still gonna have some blue-haired, septum-pierced weirdo complaining about something, but in we can, for the most part, we can all agree, man, we love winning. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And you can. N- I'm not a big hockey fan, but I watched that final. I
Yeah, of
watched the
course.
women's because
Right?
yeah, go get it.
How about the women's
And
team saying they're not gonna go to the White House, dude? Like, come on, man.
that I don't believe that's what was actually said.
Well,
Like,
okay, I
in
I
their
agree with you.
defense,
A lot of people said that, but what they really did say was that they weren't going right then.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But then
because
all
they
of a
had already
sudden,
had something
some
planned as a
well,
team. Or
now all
something.
of a sudden, some USA hockey woman, I can't remember, I think she was the captain, was offended by Trump's joke at the State of the Union. And I'm like, come
Everybody's
on, man.
everybody's offended by everything.
My God, yeah. Speaking of
It's
being
like you.
offended, how do you not stand up for somebody getting the Medal of Honor?
I don't know, dude. Like I don't claim to
And that's just
understand
some
it.
disrespectful
Again, it is. I I hate the term, but
but it's
it
Trump
really
derangement
is
syndrome.
Trump. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like I've talked about this a million times. I don't like I didn't vote for him, but I'm not going to root against him. If he's successful, the country's successful. Yeah, go get it.
But it
But
used to not matter like what party you were if a military
yep.
veteran was standing there or like where's the sense of country? There was no sense of country in that at all.
Well, they're just.
They just hate Trump.
I don't even know if they necessarily. I don't even know if it's necessarily hating Trump. I think it is. It has gone from being we're all here. So I've said this a few times, and I still believe it. Sometimes I'm like, I don't fucking know, but I think we're all. I think everybody wants the same stuff, right? You want to leave the country a little bit better
Yeah.
than it was left to you. You want your kids to have a good life. You want, you maybe want to go on a vacation. Maybe, you want to have a nice house, all of that good stuff, right? We all want kind of the same things. I think the difference between Democrats and Republicans is not what they want, but they want the country to be a better place. Okay. I think the disagreement is on what path they take to get to the mountaintop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes I have to question that thought, but I'm gonna hold on to it because I really want to believe it. That that's that. But the disagreement isn't that they want to make the country a better place. It's that they disagree on how to get.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's 100% fact.
So but sometimes they do that. I'm just like, this is just like a tribal mentality. This has nothing to do with. I don't even think they don't dislike Trump. I think they just don't want. They don't want to lose. Like they don't want the. We talk about this a couple of times, like you and I in private conversations about cognitive dissonance. You as a human being make a blueprint for the world that you see around you. And when something in reality doesn't match your blueprint, you do everything you can to fight against it. And so they've decided that all
they're
of
just
this
gonna fight no
nonsense,
matter what it is.
100%, all
No,
of
I
this
agree with you,
nonsense
dude.
that they believe in is the way it's supposed to be. And if you show them that it's not, then they just lose their minds because you've ruined their blueprint.
What kills me is that their blueprint changes every 4 years, depending. Bleep out that,
But it does.
please. But it does. But think about it. What ends up happening?
I
there's so
bleep out
many
every.
things. Okay.
You swear all you want to, dude. Doesn't it never ends up in the. It's never gonna end up in the video.
Okay. Yeah, but if you think about it, dude, it's like, what the I mean, all they ever do, they're the biggest bunch of hypocrites ever. During Obama, they praised that they needed borders
Voter
and all of a
security,
sudden, and now it's like, what? Like now we're doing something about it. Crime's down. Oh, we need to be tougher on crime, and we need all this. And it's like, what? Joe Biden wrote the 94 crime bill that imprisoned more minorities than any person ever. And all of a sudden now he's like, oh, I want to pardon everybody. And I just, auto pen pardons. Let's go.
Well, listen, you leave Sleepy Joe alone. All right. That man was up way past his bedtime. First of all. Second of all, if you had to take your pills with applesauce, you'd probably be a little cranky too.
Well, you remember when they found the cocaine in the White House?
You leave that poor old man alone.
Remember when they found the cocaine in the White House?
Vaguely.
Yeah, so they found
Vaguely.
cocaine in the West Wing. I remember that. And all I could think of is that that's what they were using to prop Joe up. They just give him a bump and
Well,
go for it,
just a
Roomba.
little bump.
Do your thing.
Yeah.
Just a little keep up, you know? And then, remember what, dude,
Jesus.
I'll never forget when he looked like a Roomba, just trying to
Oh,
get off
poor.
that stage. No, dude, it was elderly abuse. I don't like Joe Biden at all.
Just-
Like, I do not like him. I
Me
think he was
either.
corrupt.
I
He did
I
nothing,
just
but I
felt
do feel like they abused him
I
badly.
just eventually towards the end I just started feeling bad
I
for
felt
him. I'm
bad
like
for him.
this.
Dude, even Trump
Oh,
on stage, you remember at the debate when Trump was like, I feel bad for this guy. He doesn't even know where he is right now.
when he was talking about his golf scores, and he's like, I'm just like, what the fuck is happening?
My favorite was when his wife there, Dr. Joe Biden, right? Which I think she's as demonic as they get, dude. Like the way that she treated him and just propped him up, and she just loved the power of it all. You know what I mean? And I think she was just a horrible person for doing that to him. But I'll tell you, man, or at least not stopping it if she truly loved him. Um, when she's like, "Oh, Joe, way to go. We're gonna get an ice cream." I'm like, and then you see a picture of Joe in the White House sitting at the kitchen, like little like window with an ice cream and like four people standing around him, and he's just like, no idea. He has that like blank Alzheimer's stare where you have no clue. Dude, he's Monty Burns from freaking The Simpsons. Remember that old man on The Simpsons?
Yeah, but Burns had his wits about him.
Yeah, I know. He's Monty Burns though. He
He's
looks
gangster.
just like Monty Burns.
I mean, other than the fact he has hair.
Well, Monty didn't have a whole lot of hair. Joe,
That's what I'm
and
saying. Joe has some
yeah,
hair.
he has a little bit, but he's thin too. He's thin too.
We need this. Whatever this is elder abuse. We got to stop this now.
Well, I don't understand something, man. I don't understand why we want old people to be president. You know what I mean? Like, I like Trump. Don't get me wrong.
Trump's the oldest president we've ever had.
And he's probably the best. But I don't know. I just don't understand why we always go after all these old folk, man. It's the craziest thing. Because to me, like, think about this. Did you see, like, we live in an AI advanced world, man, like, advancing world. We live in a technology driven world. And all of a sudden, we put up the two oldest guys that probably don't even know how to turn I mean, Joe Biden doesn't know how to turn a computer on today. He's got a flip phone, man. Joe Biden walks around his house with a house phone, like a cordless phone.
Do you remember the jitterbug? Do you remember those commercials?
Yes. Oh my God.
That's that with the extra big letters,
Yeah.
extra big numbers on it.
Yeah.
I just picture Joe trying to dial somebody on his jitterbug. We need to stop. It's inappropriate. It's unfair. It's unkind. Joe needs to. You know what, President Biden? I hope you have a fantastic retirement. I hope that you have all the Salisbury steak and mashed potatoes you can handle. I hope
you have somewhere to clean up your drool.
I hope your nurse is kind. With some big titties or something. I don't know.
I hope you eat all the ice cream cones you want, Joe.
I hope you get all the ice cream cones you can handle.
Sniff all the kids' hair that, you know.
Oh, dude. Please don't.
Joe and the Hoe had to go, dude. That's all it is.
Let him.
Joe and the Hoe had to go, and we moved on. Now we got.
Did you see Kamala for the 14th time has said that she's thinking about running again? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Why?
So she's not wouldn't have if they had a primary.
I thought
she wouldn't have even
governor of California.
I've heard 13 different things. That's what I'm saying. She's like, I'm going to run for governor of California, which I think Newsom's going to end up being which pig they send to the slaughter. You know what I mean?
You know what I was kind of thinking is interesting? I don't think so, but if they were smart, which, most things tell me that they aren't, they would run with Fetterman. They
They
would put
hate Fetterman.
all they would put
They
all their
hate
horses like
they
and everybody's like,
hate
"Oh, he should
Fetterman.
switch parties." And you know what my thought is? Hell no, I want him to stay a Democrat. I love that he's a
They
Democrat that just blasts
they
the shit out of him.
They hate Fetterman. There's no chance. It's
I
going
know
to be Gavin Newsom talking about how he can't read and he's just like black people. That's what's this is what's going to happen. I got Listen, nigga, I'm stupid too. I got 900 on my SAT. Like
just like, yo,
how did that come out of his mouth and he's just like, "Yeah, no, this is a good idea."
doesn't he look like Beavis?
Knock that one out of the park.
Doesn't he
Yeah,
look
I don't
like
know, man. He looks like a moron is what he looks like.
dude,
I
well,
can't fucking
I don't
stand
know
that
how
guy.
he's not in jail for treason, to be honest with you.
For which
He's
thing?
I any number of them, but the most recent one when Trump was over there doing his thing and, at the UN, and he's over there making side deals, and talking shit about Trump while he's over there. Like, come on, man.
Well, the the dude's trying to make a billionaire tax. 40-something% of your taxes come already from the top 1%. You're
Yeah.
gonna make a billionaire. The thing that I don't get is they're like, yeah, if you need a residence outside of California right before I think December 29th, or we're gonna tax not only your earnings, but we're gonna tax the you already own. I'm like, who thinks this is a good idea? Half of them have already started moving out. Why would they stay? For what
He's an
reason?
idiot, dude.
It's wild. There's a couple of people like who's the cat that one of the founders of Google. I can't remember his freaking name. It's gonna bug me. Regardless, I think the additional tax he would owe would be like, I want to say it was like $2.2 billion or some like that. And it's just like, listen, I think you should tax higher incomes at a higher rate. I think that's totally reasonable. But you have to use some common sense. It's like Zoran
But it's
Mamdani in
automatically gonna
New
be
York, dude.
a higher rate. That's the thing. If you have 10% of 100,000 or you got 10% of 100 million, it's
Well,
a higher rate.
It's a higher amount. I'm talking
But
like the actual tax.
no, but I
rate.
don't think that they should make it higher. I just think that if they flat tax it, 10% of $100 billion is still a lot of money.
I mean, fair, but a flat tax. If you would have to really redo you'd have to get rid of all the loopholes, all the things that these people do to circumvent their taxes. Which, hey, you know what? Fair. If you're smart enough to do it, do it. But it's like Mamdani in New York. It's like
He doesn't pay taxes. Change the law.
Well, no, here's the thing. That's not the thing that's wild. The thing that's wild is we're going to have free buses and free grocery stores. We're going to fix rent. We're going to lower your rent in New York.
And he's already been getting railroaded by the courts.
Oh, wait a minute. Actually, I'm not going to decrease spending. I'm going to make it higher, and I'm going to increase property taxes by like 10%. Like, who do you think that's going to get passed to? Like, this guy's such a, like, it's like that governor in Virginia. This is the same game they play. They say, "Oh, we're gonna make it so much more cheap to live here. We're gonna fix all this income inequality. Actually, we're gonna tax the ever living out of you."
Well, and the other thing they did. So here's the thing about what I will say about Virginia, and I don't know. Time will tell. I don't know. I have not taken up for her, but I saw the laundry list of that she wants to tax. Right? Everybody's seen it. Okay. But it's because but that is not her laundry list of stuff. That is the democratically controlled Congress of Virginia. And, and so that's their wish list. She's already not signed a couple of things that were on that list. But she has signed some things on that list, so I'll give you some things. So one thing she didn't sign, the $500 suppressor tax. for guns. She didn't sign it. One thing they did do is they gave themselves 170% raises. But let me explain to you something, because take this for what you will. It depends on what 170% of something is. The average state representative in Virginia makes $16,000 a year for being a state representative. The average state senator makes 18. So, I'm not saying we had a major surplus. I'm not saying that they needed to vote on their own raises like that and give themselves that big of a raise. But what I am saying is the way that it has been portrayed is that
It's
they
not
make
as
it
bad
out
as
to
it
be
really
that
is.
it's like 170% of $100,000 or something, and it's not. It's literally like $44,000 a year or something. You know what I mean? Which I don't know. I mean, maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. I don't know the answer to that. But all I'm saying is that it wasn't portrayed that way.
It's a little disingenuous the way they
Yeah.
presented it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, here's the thing. If you look at states like Florida and Texas
Yeah.
that are able to survive without a state income tax,
Yeah.
help me understand how California can.
They all can.
It's
We all
they all
could.
could. I think there are some states that probably couldn't. I think you'd have a hard time with it in West Virginia. There's no industry there. I think you'd have a hard time with it in a lot of New England states would have a hard time with it. But
Virginia could get away with it.
I think most states could get away with no state income tax. But, when you're spending all your money on, social services, got to come from somewhere.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And with
So
that beautiful piece of information, we've hit our hour, my friend.
I know, dude. So one more thing I just wanted to ask you about real quick. Just kind of
Yeah.
curious your thought, and then we'll hop off here. What are your thoughts on? So going back to the NBA real quick. What are your thoughts? We'll technically go into the WNBA. What are your thoughts on what Breanna Stewart said recently? About basically it's kind of going to go away. Like they're not going to play this season. She doesn't think they're going to play. She thinks that it's probably going to be bad for the outcome of the league overall. She was very realistic about what is getting ready to happen to the WNBA.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. If Major League Baseball in 94, which was the most viewed, watched, and largest sport in the country, couldn't survive a strike, why would the WNBA think it could?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's simple as that. Like, if you don't think a year off makes a difference, you're crazy.
Yeah.
And
Well, I don't think there's going to be anything to come back to. I think that league could dissolve, dude, pretty quickly. And I think that 3-on-3 chick league, that girl league that they have now, the 3-on-3, I think you could see that take off, honestly, because I think what you're getting ready to see is, nobody really gives a shit, and they're not making any money, and they're not going to pay them to not make money.
I think there is,
At the end of the day, business is business, man.
well, here's the thing. The NBA is a brand.
Yeah.
That's the reality. The NBA is a brand.
Yeah.
And so when you can say we're in the NBA as compared to we are in this random 3-on-3 thing, people
Yeah.
barely gave a shit, dude. Like if it wasn't for Caitlin Clark, we wouldn't even be having this fucking conversation. People barely give a shit. They give just enough of a shit now to start paying a little bit of attention to it. They go on strike, no one's going to pay any attention to it at all. And let's be honest here. There are certain games, certain sports that pass the eye test regardless of the gender. You watch female figure skating? Yeah, dude, they look fantastic, right? You watch,
Gymnastics.
golf, gymnastics. There are sports that they pass the eye test. You can go, okay, yeah, this is really fantastic. Basketball, basketball is not one of those sports. Soccer is not one of those sports. It doesn't pass the eye test. The game doesn't look the same. For I mean, the reality is that these are really high athletic sports, and they don't look the same when they're being played by professional women.
No,
It's
no,
not.
you're right.
That's just the reality. You know,
Yeah.
you can still enjoy the game. I'm not saying you can't, but you know, they don't. It's a different game. You know, listen to Serena Williams talking about playing tennis against any of against the men. She's like, it's a different game. They
Yeah.
hit the ball, 15, 20 miles an hour faster. I would get my ass kicked. And this is one of the greatest female athletes of all time. Did I still watch her play tennis? Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Of course.
Like I say, it's just the reality of sports in general. And,
I just don't think they're gonna survive the strike, dude. I really don't.
I honestly,
the only way they survive it is if they get realistic about what they're making, and I just don't think they're gonna get realistic about what
I
they're
don't think they
making.
will either.
No, so I just don't know what's gonna happen. So I don't think the NBA is just gonna front load them a bunch of money just to front load them money. That
I mean, it's a fantastic tax break.
yeah.
You can claim a loss every year, guaranteed.
Big old write-off, baby. Hey, so, well, man, I'm glad we got to catch up. Really, there was a lot of stuff to talk about. There's still so much more to talk about. So, later this week will be fun as well, and I'm sure we'll have more on Iran and hopefully Jason Tatum and what that's looking like, and if that return's coming and whatnot. But yeah, man, I hope you enjoy the cold weather in the New England area. We got a little bit of a cold snap today, and then it's going back to 70.
It's going to be 60 degrees next Tuesday.
Yep, with about 1.5 feet of snow still on the ground. You enjoy.
Nope, it's going to rain like
Oh, well,
they'll be
enjoy.
gone in no time.
We're going to have 75. It's supposed to be in the 70s this weekend, like low 70s, which is exciting. Today was freezing rain. I'm just ready for like working outside, being in the sun, stuff like that, pool weather, sitting on the grill, being a dude.
Sitting on the grill?
I mean, cooking on the grill, yeah, that would suck. Sitting on the grill, cooking on the grill, being a dude, doing doodly things. What about you? You like being a dude? Doing doodly
0.9% of the time.
You like doing dude
every time.
Yeah. Well, hey, everybody. It's good spending time with you. Stay, dude. Oh, man.
I'm the king of my driveway, mowing lines so straight. Got a toolbox full of glory and a mortgage by the bay.